Seasons change and our love went cold. Flee the flame 'cause we can't let go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to do something. Been waiting on you again, so I can take a breath. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away. Hi there guys, Reese here. Welcome back to the Bitesize Guitar channel and to another guitar tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at Post Malone's Circles. It's 4 basic chords used throughout the entire song, and we're going to differentiate between the various sections of the song using some simple strumming patterns. I'll also show you at the very end of the video the slide guitar lick that's played throughout the intro as an added bonus. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the 4 chords we're going to be using throughout the entire song. Firstly, we have a C major. We then have a type of slash chord, which is a C with a B in the bass. We have an F major 7. And we have an F minor. So let's take a look at those chords in more detail. So firstly, for our C major, we're not going to be playing the bottom E string, whether we mute that with our thumb or simply avoid it with our right hand. We're going to be playing 3rd fret with our 3rd finger on the A string, 2nd fret with our 2nd finger on the D string, open G string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, and the open high E. For our slash chord, what we're actually playing here is a C major 7, so we're C with a B on top, basically, would be a C major 7. However, here we're putting that 7th note, that B note, the high B, into our bass, and playing it on the 2nd fret of the A string. So what that looks like is, again, muting the bottom E string, 2nd fret now with our 2nd finger on the A string, so that's our B bass note. We then have the 2nd fret on the D string, which is the same fret, just played by a different finger as in our C chord. And then we have open G, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string again, and then the high E, open again. For our F, we're going to be using this position, so that is again not playing the bottom E string, 3rd fret with our 3rd finger on the A string, 3rd fret with our 4th finger on the D string, 2nd fret with our 2nd finger on the G string, 1st finger plays the 1st fret on the B string, and the high E is open again. That's our 7th for our F major 7. And finally, for our F minor, what we're going to do is keep our 3rd and 4th fingers down, remove our 2nd finger from our F major shape, and bar using our 1st finger on the top 3 strings. So again, that's not playing the bottom E, 3rd fret on the A with our 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the D with our 4th finger, and then 1st fret on the top 3 strings, the G, the B, and the E, with our little mini bar of our 1st finger. So let's take a look at how those chords fit together. So we're going to have a bar of C to begin with. However, on the very last beat, the and of 4 in this bar, we're going to change to our C with a B in the bass. So that'd be kind of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We then get a full bar of this C with a B in the bass. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Moving down to our F major 7, so that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and change to our F minor again. We then get a full bar of F minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So putting those 4 chords together in that order, which is the order used throughout the entire song, and incorporating those changes in the 1st and 3rd bars, it should sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As I said, that's the chord progression used throughout the entire song, so let's take a look at how we can differentiate between the various sections of the song using a few basic strumming patterns. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the bridge section of our song. It's no different chord-wise to any other section of the song, but it's much more straightforward in terms of a strumming pattern, as we're simply going to highlight each chord with one downward strum. So we'll have the C, the slash chord, C with a B in the bass, the F major 7, and the F minor chord. If you're unsure which section of the song this is, it's where the rest of the instrumentation drops out and we're left with just the guitar and the lyric, which is, maybe you don't understand what I'm going through, it's only me, what you gotta lose. And then that repeats for one more time. Okay, so let's take a look at the verse and chorus sections now, which are slightly more involved for our right hand, using the same chords throughout, just as before. So starting on that first bar of C, with our change down on that last and of the bar to that C slash chord, C with the B in the bass, what we're going to be playing is down, 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 up, up. And that final up is where we change to that slash chord. So I'll play that again. It's down, 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 up, up. Or we could count that as 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we then enter the next bar, which is just a full bar of that slash chord. However, we're not actually going to play the 1 in this bar. So our strumming pattern for this second bar, for our slash chord, is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're missing out beats 1 and 2. Again, we could count that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that 2-bar phrase of strumming pattern repeats exactly the same over the chord change from our F major 7 to our F minor. So once we have it on these two chords, it should be relatively straightforward for us to transpose it over to the next two chords. So if I play that whole progression again, from the C to the C slash chord, the C with a B in the bass, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and again that's down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. If we play that exact same strumming pattern over the next part of our progression, so the F major 7 to the F minor, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or we could count that as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if we put all 4 chords together, we'll be playing that strumming pattern essentially twice, once over the change from the C to the C slash chord, and once over the change from the F major 7 to the F minor. All together, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I play that at speed, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's the strumming pattern for our verse. So let's take a quick look at the strumming pattern for our chorus, which is a little bit simpler, but kind of has a lot of the same ideas in it. So the main thing is that we're going to remember to change to our second of each pair of chords on the and of 4 in the first bar. So just as we did in the verse, we'll be playing our C to our C slash chord on that and of beat 4 in the first bar. Then an entire bar of that slash chord. Likewise with our F major 7, on the and of that third bar, we're going to be moving to our F minor chord. And in that final bar, the fourth bar, is just a whole bar of F minor. Our strumming pattern, however, fills out a little bit more, and we're going to be playing down, down, up, down, up, down, up, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So really, we're only missing out the and of beat 1. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So when we incorporate our change into that, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. If I add in our second bar, the strumming pattern here is to miss out the 1, just as we did before in our verse, and then play every beat. So this is going to be 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Again, that's 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if I put that into context, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if we put those two bars together, moving from my C to my C slash chord, in our chorus, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Likewise, if I played that over the F major 7 to the F minor, it's exactly the same strumming pattern. It should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So if we put those 4 chords together for our entire chorus, using that strumming pattern, which essentially will be repeating that strumming pattern twice, once over that change again from C to the C slash chord, and once over our F major 7 to our F minor. It should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. And again, if I play that at speed, it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as a little bonus, let's take a look at the guitar lead that's played throughout the intro of the song. Now we can play this pretty straightforwardly by just playing the 3rd fret on our high E, to the 5th fret on our high E, back down to the 3, and then down to the 5th fret on the B. That's the first part of our riff. Now that part actually repeats 3 times in the intro. So we get ba 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 da, ba 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 da. And then we descend even further, 5 on the B, 3 on the B, to 1 on the B. And the rhythm of that is, so that first one being a pull off, so that's I'm playing the 5th fret with my first finger ready, waiting on the 3rd fret of the B string, and after I've played the 5th fret, I remove my 3rd finger, revealing the note underneath this 3rd fret, so we suddenly hear that fret sound. Now if you're not familiar with pull-offs, you can absolutely still play it straight. It just sounds a little bit smoother to do the pull-off. Likewise, from the 3rd fret to my 1st fret, still on the B string, I might slide down here. So that whole phrase would be. So if we put all of that together, it should sound like this. Starting with the 3rd fret on our high E string, we get ba, ba, again. And the third and final time. And then I'm going to pull off here, slide, and again. Now that's all of the notes being used to play the intro, and it's perfectly fine to use that approach to play it. However, on the original track, that part is actually being played by a slide. So if you have a slide, it doesn't matter whether it's a glass slide like this or a metallic slide like this, you can actually play that part all on one string as it's played on the record. So here, instead of the 3rd fret and the 5th fret on the B, we're simply going to replace those notes, playing them higher up on our B string. So we're going to start on the 8th fret of our B string and slide up to our 10th fret on our B string. So the whole riff played with just my one finger would sound like this. So sliding back down to that same 5th fret that we were playing here on the B string. So ba 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 da, 8, 10, 8, 5. The rest of the riff then remains exactly the same. 5, 3, 3, 1. But if I'm using my slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my slide with the fret that I want to sound. So here I'm placing it over the 8th fret, and then if I've got it on my 3rd finger, you may find, depending on the size, that you want to put it on your 2nd finger or on your pinky. But I'm going to put mine on my 3rd finger, and then I use my 2nd and 1st fingers to just gently mute behind the slide so I don't get kind of any notes or sounds that I don't want ringing out behind the slide. So if I played that entire lick on the 1 string, on the B string, it would sound like this. That riff then repeats a 3rd time, and then we descend. As I said, it doesn't matter if you don't have a glass slide and you want to try using a metallic one. It does exactly the same job, mute with our fingers behind. So if you don't have access to a slide, don't worry about it at all. You can absolutely play this part just as we did at the start of this section, completely straight, either all on one string or in that first position that I showed you. If you're desperate to play this part of the song but you don't have access to a slide, then don't worry. You can actually use a variety of household implements, anything that has something like a smooth glassy edge, a phone for example, and just line that up with the relevant frets and play the lick exactly as I've shown you to play it with a slide. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire song. As I said, you can differentiate between the various sections of the song by just mixing up the strumming pattern a little. If you'd like to see how the whole thing fits together, there'll be a full playthrough cover version of the song available on this channel. Just click through the link at the end of this video. Thank you for watching. That's the end of this video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like if you enjoyed it or found any of it useful. You might also like to check out some of these videos and let me know in the comments section below what you'd like to learn next. Until then, I'll see you there.